What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode we're gonna go over this beauty that we just picked up. This is the cheapest 05 Acura NSX with less than 100,000 miles in the US. There is a reason why it is the cheapest 05 NSX in the US on today's market. First of all, like I mentioned before, there is the passenger side front impact. I'm gonna show you that in a second when I leave the car. I saw part of the damage when I was in the owner's garage when he was showing me the car. Kudos to Gaiman for working a deal with me. You know, I took it apart. It didn't look that bad. He definitely got quoted an arm and a leg to fix the car. Hopefully we will be able to fix it for a lot cheaper than what he was quoted. So I believe we can pull it off. So there's a bunch of pieces inside of the car, like in the interior, on the trunk, pieces that don't belong, but you know, I'm just gonna walk you through the whole interior and trunk of the car. The electrical part does work. As far as I know, the owner told me the engine does not turn, and so I might need to put another engine. I have a spare engine. It's not a 3.2, it's a 3.0, but you know, 20-30 horsepower, it wouldn't make that much of a difference to me because these cars are not meant to be super duper fast. So maybe I slap a supercharger in the 3.0, but we will see. As long as like the rest of the car is not falling apart and it's not corroded, then I think we should be all good. So without further ado, let me show you around the car and let's see what we got.
To begin with, one of the first things I'll be removing is the crushed aftermarket hood. I still don't know what kind of brand it is, but at this point it's just trash. After the hood is off, I'm definitely gonna give the front a good cleaning. I noticed some questionable wiring and a few missing fuse back covers on the front of the car. Even though I did a quick inspection back in California, this is the first time I've been really able to go through the interior of the car in detail. A few trim pieces are missing, and I found a bunch of loose plastic panels under the driver and passenger seats. I also came across some printed pages from the repair manual, specifically instructions on how to put the engine back together. Right next to that, I found an AEM Infinity box with a harness, which was a pretty nice surprise, but I still don't know for sure if this box works or not. In the trunk, I found some old fender liners, a few epoxy containers, and more loose interior parts, an aftermarket throttle body, an adapter plate, a harness, and some instructions on how to put everything together. I don't know for sure if this is meant to work with a C-Theory platform or not, but that is something I'm gonna have to see and check in the future. Looking more closely at the engine, I noticed a few connectors were just hanging loose. The coil packs were not connected at all, and I can also tell some of the emission piping and hoses were missing. Definitely something that I'm gonna have to keep in mind when I decide to take the engine apart. Moving to the passenger side, I found a random collection of bolts and nuts sitting underneath the passenger seat. When I found that, I also found a wife beater, some socks, gloves, and a pair of men's underwear. The cherry on top was a little container of super glue, chopsticks, nail polish, and a few condoms sitting on the armrest compartment. Looks like somebody was having way too much fun with this car at some point in time. So the plan for the day is give the car a quick wash, get rid of some of the salt from Utah, and start taking it apart to see which part of this car I can reuse, which parts is trash, and come out with a list of all the things that I'm gonna need to buy brand new. It took me well over an hour to wash the car. I was not trying to make it look perfect, I was more focusing on getting all the salt off the car from the trip. A lot of it was caked on and packed in between the panels, plus I took the opportunity to remove some old dirt and grime from the car sitting in the garage without a cover. Next up, front end removal and proper inspection to assess the damage and figure out what parts I'm gonna be able to reuse and which parts I'm gonna need to replace.
Alright, so we removed some of the salt, dirt, not in all detail. We just want to like wash the car. The paint have like scratches, swirls, well, it's crack right here. Crap. So I just noticed one of the headlight have a little crack too. So what I'm gonna do is start removing all the stuff that we don't need. The hood needs to go. I don't know what kind of brand it is, but you know, touch that. Remove the bumper so we can see what's in there. There's some, I don't know, scratches all over. I'm missing some of the headlight seals right here. But you know, let's get to it and let's see what we're looking at.
The first thing I removed was the hood, followed by the front bumper. While I was doing that, I noticed that the upper and lower radiator support bars were slightly bent. I also saw that the headlight support seals were missing. Looking at the front bumper more closely, I saw the bumper support brackets were bent and the alignment holes where the front bumper mounts to the chassis had been bored out. After pulling the crash bar, it became clear that the front bumper has been repaired at some point in time in the past. After the front end of the car was completely removed, I proceeded to pull out both of the headlights. To my surprise, the driver's side headlight had an aftermarket ballast, but from a Range Rover. Yes, you heard me right, from a Range Rover. The ballast wasn't even installed on the headlight, it was pushed behind the actual headlight and attached to the chassis with some zip ties. I guess whoever worked on the car before was on a tight budget and just made whatever they had laying around work. And this is how the car looks with the front end removed. As you can see, we've got a super clean extension wiring done to the OEM harness so the Range Rover ballast can work. One thing to note, when I removed the upper cowl plastic, I spotted a weld repair on the driver's side upper wheel well. Something not disclosed, but I would assume is part of one of the accidents that the car suffered many years ago. You can also clearly see where the passenger side front rail took the hit. At this point, I'm leaning towards replacing both front rail plates entirely. The radiator is bent, but likely it's not leaking. Not that it really matters because I'm going to replace that anyways. The AC line wasn't so lucky. It's been crushed between the radiator and the frame. I really hope that I can find one online used or source one through Amayama if they have it available. Both of the AC condenser support brackets are also bent, especially the one on the passenger side. So those will have to be added to the list as well. I'll be getting more parts and get a better idea of what it have to be replaced after the car gets straightened out at the frame machine.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I don't know what the hell happened, but I have to remove the battery. It was a little explosion and some acid came from the battery because it exploded. This thing popped and the battery popped and all the stuff right there. Let's see. Smell pretty funky. I don't know what the hell happened, but it sounds like a gunshot, and I thought it was fire because there's some smoke coming out. Oh well.
With the front all done, I moved to the back of the car and started to clean out the trunk area. Most of what I found back there was just trash, but I did notice some rust forming at the bottom of the trunk. I removed the tool styrofoam container and I vacuumed the bottom of the trunk before I sprayed some PP blaster to help prevent any further corrosion.
There's a whole section that's missing here in the bottom. On the passenger side, things look slightly better. At least everything is connected. So you can see there. The oil pan has been pushed a bit, so maybe oil starvation. Maybe that's what it caused, the overheating on the engine. I mean, I don't know what actually happened to the engine. I'm just going based on what I was told. So I'm gonna start removing some of the bolts here in the bottom, the transmission shifter cables, and I should be able to drop this baby in no time. So yeah, let's get to it.
To remove the engine along with the subframe, start by disconnecting the OEM harness, fuel lines, and all coolant hoses, as well as the slave cylinder hose, transmission harness, and all the ground cables. Do not forget to unbolt the coolant reservoir and detach the engine mounts. Once everything up top is disconnected, leave the car and continue underneath. Disconnect the e-brake cables, shifter cables, brake lines, AC compressor, wheel speed sensors, and the rear subframe bar. Disconnect your suspension, the H-bracket bar, and the exhaust system so you have more room to work around the engine. As a final reminder, double check that all the hoses and loose cables are clear before dropping the subframe. You don't want any wires getting caught and tearing up the harness or damaging the car on the way out.
All right, so here you have it. It's a 3.2 from 2005. One of the first things I noticed, I noticed a lot of things were like hand tied, loose, like the valve covers, loose here, coil packs, loose, all of them. And we're, I don't even know what. That is for the oil pump. I don't know what they were trying to do here. The transmission mount is loose. Bunch of things here are kind of loose. I don't really know what they were trying to do, what they were trying to accomplish. I don't know if they were trying to vulture the car, or like, you know, what was the deal between the owner, the previous owner, and the company were trying to fix it, or I don't know. But it doesn't look that terrible. Now I'm gonna have to take it apart and trying to figure out why is that it won't start. Intriguing. That's what I have for today. Definitely a lot more to do. We've seen it worse. So I'm hopeful that after I finish working on the front of the car, like taking it to Blackjack and they can address the front of the car, then and I take this engine apart, I should be able to put it together, and hopefully in a lot faster time compared to what we did with the River NSX. Obviously this is not burned or corroded or anything like that, so it definitely has like a mystery behind it. I don't know why certain things are in a particular way. You know, we'll figure it out as we go. So that's how I want to wrap up the video today, and see you next time. Stay tuned. Peace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment our videos. Please consider subscribe to our channel, as well as visit our other media accounts at Helix Auto Works on Instagram and Facebook.